movie have. You see, the quite famous one. And for example, from all these movies, which one you know the music of?
I know at least 3 of those.
At least 3 of those. Okay, very good. Now, this is what we're going to do. In a moment, I'm going to show you the list of movies. And you're going to scan very quickly. And very quickly, I would like that you choose one of them. The first one that trick immediately in your mind the music theme. Okay? So please, have a look. You have one?
Okay, yeah.
Good. Now, I would like that you think about this movie, okay? Just think about this movie in your mind. Imagine now the music theme. Just try to sing in your mind the music theme, okay? Yeah, you're smiling. So, let me try something, because I have my mobile phone here, and I would like to... Just let me know if maybe this is what you're thinking. Yeah? Yeah. It's Titanic. And let's make a game. Let's play together.
That's creepy.
That's creepy, eh?
That's creepy.
Titanic. Come on.
A lot of people want to know what it's like to be a magician and how to see it from a magician's point of view. So I want to see if I can mess with your eyes and get you to see something so that you can kind of experience what a magician experiences. So you guys have good eyesight. You can see the cards pretty well?
Yeah, I have my contacts
Yeah,
in.
you got your contacts in? Okay, good. All right, so we're going to mess with you here. I'm going to run through the cards. Just say stop anywhere.
Stop.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, that's funny,
Okay.
actually.
Why is your favorite card? Or
It's my 3rd favorite card.
oh, it's 3rd favorite card. All right. Now for me, okay. See that 9? Wow, 9 of clubs, really?
Well, I saw it at first, and then now...
Well, the 9 of clubs is just sticking out to me. Does that stand out to you?
Yes.
Why does it stand? You could see that? Can you see it?
Yeah.
No, can you see that?
I'm not going to take my...
There was the 9 of clubs was your
Yeah,
card,
I
but you
see
could
it.
see it.
I see it.
Like, because that to me just is standing out like in a crazy way. I don't know why.
Wait.
I'm like...
So, like, can you see it now? Because she was
Barely.
seeing it. You can see that?
whoa.
What, is
Wait.
it goes away. But you can still see,
That,
right? Take a deep breath.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my God! Wait.
What happened?
No, it was blurry.
Okay.
It was, like,
Well, yeah. Let's
smeared.
try it again. So here, say stop.
Stop.
That one instead.
That's so funny.
We
Oh.
love...
That's so
Okay.
funny.
Well, let's not use that one. Actually, I don't even need to know it. So here, say stop.
Stop.
That one.
I can't see.
Right.
Yeah.
Did
Good.
you see it?
All right. So, see that ace? Well, see, ace of spades very popular, right? Was it? So it was the ace of spades.
Yes.
Yep. So I want you to really see what I'm seeing here. So I want you to take a deep breath. Okay, relax. Okay.
No!
So you see that? I mean, you knew that the card was, but you could see
How
you
does
could
that
see them now,
happen?
right? That they all look
How does that happen?
right.
What did you put in this drink?
Is it the dyslexia?
Like
This is the craziest game ever. Wait.
No, this is insane.
How does that happen?
right, and the jokers,
No, I can't even touch those, though.
right? But you can see everything's fine.
Wait. Hold
No,
on.
because that literally happened right in front of our eyes.
No, please. You can't even touch it. Okay,
So.
we're back to normal.
Yeah, it only lasts for about 30 seconds.
I can't.
That's crazy.
I think that was the craziest one we've seen so far. That was crazy. That was my favorite.
That's wow.
That was my favorite. That
That's
was awesome.
amazing.
Different card. I mean, it's the same deck we have been playing with. Different cards, all different. Let's do like this. Please, you say stop when you want.
Stop.
Take your card. and you say stop when you want. Before the end. No, it's okay. Where you want.
Stop.
Yeah. Okay. Keep calm. Okay. Remember it. You can show it to the camera if you want. Because we have cameras, so.
Are
Yeah.
you supposed to see yours?
You can, but remember yours.
Oh, okay. What are the
Wait.
odds?
Okay, let's try like this, please. Like this and like this. So I'm thinking about it because I created that trick about 5 minutes ago.
Oh.
Okay.
That's true. You won't believe it, but I created trick 5 minutes ago just for you guys.
Whoa.
For real.
Okay.
When you are watching my friend Garrett, I was just thinking, oh, we could do that and do that because there are two, so we can do that.
Yeah.
You talk to all the girls, don't you?
No.
He's French.
I tell other things to other girls. So to find the first card, I just need to cut like this, and I'll find 4 of diamonds. Was yours?
It was. Yeah.
Okay. Now for the second card, I just need to move my glasses a bit, and the cards goes out of focus. You see?
Whoa.
It's because of the glasses effect. There's a glasses effect, and it's just exactly the 8 of diamonds.
Whoa.
But it wasn't blurry when you
No,
had it.
no, I held it.
Place your hand like this. So I'll take that, you see, and what I take is I take the blurriness. We can say blurriness. It's kind of special, and I put the blurriness in here. So I have all the cards focused there. That's not magical, that's normal. But this one now you can check it's not
know
out
where
of
to look.
focus. Look.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
The funny part is that I did took it and put it there, so you can check your cards.
No. There's no way.
This one is useless. You can keep it as a souvenir.
Is it gonna be forever
Is it,
blurry?
gonna, is it gonna change? Like
Not
on
anymore.
its own?
Not anymore.
That was so cool. I love that.
Crazy.
G'day everyone, how are you? Welcome to Murphy's Magic Stumped. This day, right today, we are talking about Blur with Mathieu, Bich and Garrett Thomas. I can't wait to do it with you. You guys have seen it already. I'm very excited to talk to you about it all. Everyone's controlling the cameras. Good to see you all getting involved. And also today, stick around till later on the episode and we're going to give away a $150 care package sent to you wherever you are in the world. You've had enough of me flapping my gums, and we're going to bring in the legends themselves, Mathieu, Bich, and Garrett Thomas. Woo, woo, woo! Air horn noise.
Bonsoir. Salut. Hello.
Hey, how you gentlemen doing? Good?
Yes.
Very well.
Very well. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. I really appreciate you taking the time. I know you're all very busy. Garrett, you were just doing a live event just before too, so you've gone straight from that into this. You're a busy man.
Yep, it's easier to lump them all together and get in the right frame of mind than to make them sporadic. So I'm glad that it worked out and we're able to be here.
Perfect. I love it. Thank you so much. And Mathieu, you've been running about too. You're doing a lot of consultancy work. You're doing your own creations.
Yes.
And
Yeah, creating. Always, always the same day.
Jeez.
Creating magic
I
for
love it.
myself, for others.
it can't get any better than that. And that's where I kind of want to get into it. We're gonna, if everyone has any questions, please, I can see all the chats. If you do have any questions for either Mathieu or Garrett, please throw them in the chat. I can see them all. I think we're live on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. That's the big four. So let's get into it. I think what I want to start with, you two gentlemen, you're known for your awesome creations. And two kind of different styles, if you will. You go about things a little bit differently. And you've created some of the best magic. Like, I've got to say, Garrett, when I first met you, I remember Stand Up Monty when I first saw that. I used to work with a magician in Australia, and he carried it on him everywhere. He'd always carry like 4 versions. I'd have 2 on me in case one got wet. It was his go-to effect. He was like, the Stand Up Monty is my holy grail. So when I first met you back in Vegas, I was like, this is Garrett Thomas. I called up my mum after, and I was like, Mum, that was Garrett Thomas. So you guys, are so good to finally meet you both and chat. And I know you both have quite different styles. And I think that's where I kind of wanted to get into Blur, how your two styles met and you kind of created this awesome Blur. And I know a lot of people, just I see some people in the chat already saying, wasn't Blur already out? Can you kind of run me through the history of how the original Blur came about and then how you kind of became this Blur today?
Well, the first thing I would say is, although we have totally different styles, we both often attack the same concept or the same effect.
Yeah.
And I tend to lean to finding a more sleight of hand, repeatable, efficient method that has big sacrifices, because it's I won't write on cards and I don't want to destroy too much, and I want to have it repeatable and things like that. Where Matthew's willing to put in the work to build things and make it before every show. But over the years, we got really close because we realized we both were working on the same things, often at the same time. And it just got to a point where we said, forget about it. Anything we're working on, we're going to share with each other, because we probably are already working on the same thing. And that's actually what we realized with Blur, is we both were working on this effect, and we've already had it in our repertoire, in our performance repertoire, and we never talked about it. And all of a sudden we brought it up, and I got this trick. Well, I do it too, but I do it this way. And we decided to come together and make something bigger out of it. When I started with Blur, it was a single card, because I didn't want to take the time to print up a whole deck, right? That's what Matthew does. And so I made a single card version where the audience would know what card someone picked, because it would go blurry. And I would do this all the time, and I would go through the cards one at a time, and the audience would freak out. And then it turned out that was the person's card. And then when they look back, it's no longer blurry. And that was my go-to effect when it comes to this concept. And then Matthew had a way of doing it with a full deck. And then I had some additions to how to create multiple methods within that full deck. And Matthew could probably tell you more about that moment of inception. I believe you were sitting right here.
Yes.
Yeah,
And-
where I'm sitting right now. And
because-
our brains were melting because of the possibilities.
And because
in this deck of cards.
because I knew it before I recorded the hour of thinking. So I have on my iPad not even an hour, it was 40 minutes I think, of both of us talking about blurry cards and creating blur based on Garrett and my principles, mixing everything in 40 minutes, creating blur. I have the full length video. It's crazy.
Yeah, it came out so quickly after we had my edition and your edition together, because you've been doing a full routine for years. I was doing a full routine for years, but when we combined them, it became this versatile tool, and it was just crazy.
I found my first prototype from June 2000. So basically, in June 2000, I have access to Photoshop. It sounds like ridiculous today, but in June 2000, having access to Photoshop was like a big thing. And I realized that you have filters and you can blurry cards. And the first thing I start to do is printing cards and making that deck. So. So that was in 2000, and I create a full trick of routine where the cards are blurry face and back, and at the end, because I switched to my sunglasses, the cards change to they have the tint of the shade of my green glasses. So that was the trick I was using, and when I saw Garrett doing his trick with the blurry card, I said, hey, I have, of course. Like as usual, I also have a version of that, and I liked his. I think he liked mine, and we tried to get the best of both versions. making it into a selection, because I didn't have a selection. It was just something you look, it's beautiful, but you have no interaction. And we mixed both, and we ended up with blur.
I love that because I watched the tutorial today, just to write some notes up, and it's a great lengthened tutorial as well. I was thinking like maybe like an hour, and then I got so in depth in it. It's a good 3 and a bit hours, over 3 hours, correct?
Wow.
So I was watching it all, and I was like, I got involved in it. I was like, hang on, how long have I been watching now? And I was already 2 hours in. I went from one tutorial to the other, and then when I got to the history section on the history of Blur, that just blew me away. Like how you both had similar ideas of a blurred card effect, and then you went to Mathieu to say, hey, have you got this? I need help building this gimmick. And he's like, actually, I've been thinking about this as well. And then it's like you said, your brains melted together to create Blur. That kind of brings me into like, when does it become like an option for you guys to like, hey, do we keep this to ourselves? Because I know, Garrett, you said that you want to have repeatability for when people come watch your shows again. It's not the same 5 of spades each time. It's a different card.
Yeah.
Is there, when do you guys go, hey, I want to keep this to myself, we'll keep this to ourselves, or should we release it to the community?
For me, it's really about, is it easy for me to make? So with the help of Murphy's bringing this to life, it would be something that I would never. I'd be begging Mathieu to print me up another deck because there is a relative shelf life to cards, and so although this is going to hold up, it's now that it's made in bicycle and it's a good quality stock, it still is something you'd have to be willing to commit to get a bunch of them, and so the only way to make it work for me is to make sure I share it with everyone else. So it is possible that if there was another way to have the props for myself, I might not want to. I would want to keep this close to my heart because it is such a beautiful, unique moment in Magic. Like the trailer points out, people don't walk away going, "How did you do that?" They walk away saying, "What did you do to me?"
Yes.
And this is if used properly, it could be a tool to create pseudo hypnosis. It could be a way of creating this experience that something has happened physically, not with the deck of cards, but with them. And that's one of the beauties of this deck is it can be presented a lot of different ways. And that's why the tutorial is really long. You will not use all of the different ideas. You're going to find the one that you're drawn to. But what you will get out of it is something so unique you can't do it any other way.
That's amazing because that's the one thing I kind of wanted to talk about. I started the tutorial going, okay, this is like the base routine. And then there were other routines in here that I was really drawn to, like the one of like the camera tricks where you actually make it feel like the effect is created by camera tricks. Obviously working in social media, this was right up my alley. And I was like, it got me creatively thinking of like, how can I adapt this and how can I make this my own? But I know I see a lot of people asking about this. I got to ask before our chat blows up with this question more, is you talked about having it created to where it is with the deck it is now. Is there a reason with why you went with this deck instead of the bicycle rider backs? Or I know in the tutorial you spoke of Kathy was trying hard with USPC to get the copyright. Is that one of the reasons?
Yeah, we wanted to make sure we had a blurry back card, and you can't do that with Rider.
No.
Also, there are other secret tools in the back design, for those who understand, that are going to make it so that you have more control to maybe do another effect with this deck before you make the cards go blurry. And so there's things that are in this that we borrowed from the mandolin design, which we are both a fan of.
Yeah. You cannot alter the rider back design anymore. I mean, it was the case at the beginning, and then there was like almost 8 or 10 years we could, and then back to the real reason we can't. So anything you want to do on the back, like blurry or adding a mark or changing the design, you have to change the back end and cannot use the rider back. So that's the main reason, because we wanted the blurry back also, and other stuff that we use mandolins.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, and the other deck designs, they're only sold to magicians. So whenever you see them, you know it's a trick deck. Where the mandolin design is an official bicycle design, it's bicycle 809 compared to rider 808. They're actually considered sister designs, like the combo pack.
Yeah.
You can put them next to each other, and they hold up next to each other, and at a little bit of a distance, you cannot tell. Where with other designs, there are big glaring tells that another magician could easily see from across the room. That obviously is a gaff deck.
Yeah, to be really honest, with a cool story that happened last week, I was in the south of France with some friends, magician friends, and I performed a trick with a key card, and the key card, the only key card, it's a gimme got key card I had, was a mandolin, and I just put it in the rider back deck. And even for a group of like full-time magicians, if there were 4, I performed the trick and turned multiple times the key card in front of them, and it was not the same design, and they didn't realize.
So, yeah, I think that's one of the
They're
things.
realizing it right now because I'm telling it.
Yeah, they're like, hang on, you did
Watch
what?
the video.
You're going to get strongly worded emails after this from a lot of magicians saying, you did what to me? Which is great. I think that's the thing too. I've never had any spectator kind of pull me up on the different designs. I'm like, oh, this doesn't look like my normal bicycle deck. I think laymen are used to seeing other decks around as well. You know, there's a lot more decks out in the market than there previously was. So I don't think.
That's because of magicians.
Yes.
Lay people don't see decks of cards anymore, especially in America.
Yeah.
I don't know about France, but everything's now virtual. Everything's online. So to have a physical deck of cards, the only time you would get to see it is either at a casino or with a magician.
Yeah, that's very true.
Uno has now surpassed the most popular deck of cards that would be in a house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that's now a thing, where that more Uno decks are readily available than poker decks.
That's amazing. Well, we need to see what Uno's copyright is like, so we can blur a whole bunch of their cards.
Yeah, there's a lot of great effects that can be done with Uno cards, and I have a bunch of them.
That's amazing. You working on something you can release?
I had them in older lectures. I had a trick called Uno Grande Coincidencia, which is very, very bad Spanish, but it's one big coincidence. Said wrong because I'm dyslexic and I'm illiterate in 260 different languages, which is crazy.
That's great. And that's the biggest coincidence of them all, is that even the language is wrong. So perfect. It's a double whammy. It hits both times. I think that kind of brings me on to like a whole bunch of people. We talked about the cards. There are some people saying, I can see people in Instagram saying how they already have the original blur. How different is this to the original to the new one? I know we talked a little bit about the deck, obviously, but routing wise.
The original was a Tenyo version. We first released through Tenyo. So the effect was the same. The method was mostly the same. We just made a more professional version, refined version. Even the card, the simple fact to change the brain for a Tenyo deck that is designed for amateur magicians, for kids, to a bicycle mandolin, you can really use it now as a professional magician. And we added some extra stuff on the back, on the face, and extra cards to do multiple effects that you can do with the Tenyo. With the Tenyo, pretty narrowed to just one trick.
Yeah, by changing to the mandolin quality, they spread better, they handle better. It's now psychologically, this is something they recognize being a bicycle deck of cards, and now that's getting twisted. So there's a little more of a connection emotionally for the audience to the change. But Matthew, you also changed on the Tenyo brand. The blur wasn't as pronounced, and you even fixed all the cards have been re-edited and all the cards to make them even more stereoscopic, and that creates that vibration.
Yes, I enhance the design, and especially on the spread, because when you spread the cards, you can see the index pip like really quick, and when you blur the card, it's like a stain. The pip, the color of the pip get closer to the border. And on the deck on the Tenyo, you couldn't take the cards. If you just bevel the cards, you could see the ink on the side, because the blurry cards, the blurry index, was going almost on the edge. So I fixed everything. So now you're pretty safe to handle the card. You get a little more visual impact with the blurry, but at the same time, you have no ink on the thickness on the side. So we fixed all the little things to make a professional deck, just to be sure it has to be used for performances.
Yeah, and with this deck, you can do even more. You have more options of different effects. Where, like Matthew said, the Tenyo trick, they didn't really want us to have a 3-hour tutorial. They just give us one trick, and we were happy. They were happy with the limitation, because these are all ideas we had, years ago, but they wanted something a little simpler. So we now this is like a 2.0.
Yeah, perfect. I was literally about to say like that. This is the 2.0, the masterclass version of Blur, because I do want to ask about the skill level. We've had a couple of people ask. I know we have a beginner skill level magician. How advanced do the routines get? Because I know, Garrett, you're very sleight of hand. You love your sleight of hand stuff. So how, out of all the routines that we're going to have the table of contents come up in a second and to show people what you're actually going to learn, but the skill level, how advanced do we get? Do we get up to like expert level sleights in the routines?
I wouldn't say things are too expert level. I mean, once you understand the basics of what needs to be done to make the deck turn on and off, basically, you will have your own answers. That, the tutorial is long mostly because of the different types of presentations, the different types of ways you can have a relationship with the deck of cards. Whether you use the simplest setup or a more advanced one, or something that's even crazier, it's really up to you. What you're comfortable with. The effect is really still going to be the same.
Yes. I think there's also, people can also adjust the chat. I should have told you that you're probably going to see camera differences, and then people can crash the stream. It's not going to crash the stream. It just plays a little video over top, but we can still chat. It's just for people to like play around and mess with us, which I literally thought the stream crashed for a second. I panicked. But yes, I think that's the best part about this is there's a lot of routines. Like I said, I started with the camera trick one and I'm kind of developing something that I can work with now. So taking that little not basic routine, you can make it as advanced as you want. You're given the platform to start, and you can do whatever you need to it. I think that's what I really enjoy. Began Bros is like, oh yes, gotchas. So I want to talk a little bit more about the tutorial itself and the different routines. We're talking about it a little bit more. I'll bring some up on screen of what you're actually going to learn. There's a lot going through this. Like you're learning like your 3-phase routine. Can you talk us a little bit through? I know you're seeing them come up on screen, but as you want to go, do you want to let kind of people know like a kind of what's your favorite kind of routines that you would perform when you take Blur out in the street? What do you perform? What's your favorite go-to routine? Like, do you
For
prefer?
me,
Yeah, sorry.
I used to do the 3-phase routine until we filmed this project.
Mm-hmm.
And now recently I've been loving the relationship, inspired by Matthew's glasses and sunglasses concept. We had created this relationship between my glasses and whether the cards go blurry or not. So I've been having the audience watch me, and I do the effect once, and the cards do not go blurry to them, but
Yes.
I act as if it's going blurry to me. And it's also one of the fun things. If you have a friend, they can react as if it's going blurry as well, and then later you can have it go blurry for everyone. A lot of fun things you can do there. But I react as if it's going blurry, and I'm like, it's got to be the 4 of clubs, and it sure enough is. And so then they're like, well, let me show you how that happens. You notice I took my glasses off. And when that happens, all the cards go blurry except for your 4 of clubs. Let's use a different card. And then I perform it again. And now I'm like, but this time stare at my glasses. And now you're connected to these glasses. When I have them on, they look normal. And they'll look normal for you. And then I scoop up the deck, I take the glasses off, and I spread the deck out. And now it's all blurry. And they see it vicariously through my eyes. So the way I'm presenting it now, people do not say, what did you do to me? They now look at it as a magic trick where it's, I'm not going to make them think I drugged them or something like that, which, you can have a very, very interesting reactions to this. So that's kind of the way, and then I put the glasses back on and all the cards are no longer blurry. So there's this relationship between that and that. I also, if I'm going to perform in a larger audience, I empower one spectator to see it through the magician's eyes. And I use 3 selections, and I have a person come up and they look at the deck, and people sitting in the front row can also see the deck, and it looks normal.
Mm-hmm.
And I say there's a person on the left, a person on the right, a person in the middle. Can you focus on 3 cards and tell me which cards they picked? And they're looking at a card on the right, a card on the left, and a card in the middle that they can focus on. So they're instantly cued as to what to say, and like, all right, you have the 8 of clubs, you have the 3 of hearts, you have the 9 of diamonds, but nobody else can see what he's seeing, even at as short as 4 or 5 feet away, right? So they could be looking at the same thing, and he is being cued, and no one has a clue how this audience member was able to guess from a face-up deck, picking out clearly, all the cards were there visibly, and how did he know that those go there? But that situation doesn't happen every day in my world at the restaurants where I can have that much control. But if you're doing shows where you have that control, that's probably one of your go-tos to empower the audience member.
And when the spectator comes back in the audience and they ask him how, he will tell a story that is impossible, because he will say, hey, some of the cards were blurry and some of the cards were not blurry. That's how I found. But the audience saw the cards that were not blurry. So the explanation he's giving it seems to be just in his mind, and it connects to the story you are telling. So I think it's really neat to use it that way.
Yeah, I often like to set up a candle and just say, stare at the candle. You're not going to be hypnotized, but it's going to mess with your eyes a little bit. So they know to look for something with their eyes. And you also need to make sure you pick someone that actually has good vision. Because if they already have blurry vision, they will not see anything happening.
Yeah, it just gets
so
blurry.
That's actually the harder part, is you need to use somebody that you've already they can read the cards already. It's amazing how many people don't know how blurry their eyesight really is, and they're just going about with their driver's license out there and living, and they have a hard time reading anything.
That's great. I found that really interesting in the actual tutorial as well. You talked about the pin dot glasses. I've actually, since I watched it, I was like, hang on, I need to order a pair of these. I went immediately on Amazon and bought a pair because I was like, I need to test these out. Because I think that is a cool illusion that you've...
Did you get them yet? Did you try them out?
I watched the tutorial today, and I was watching it and ordered it.
So what we found, and we'll talk about it on the tutorial, is when you put the pinhole glasses on.
So just pinhole glasses, because some people maybe don't know what are pinhole glasses. These are like full plastic, usually black plastic glasses, with like probably 50 little small holes for each eyes. And it's designed to reduce the fatigue of the eyes. But also, if you're like me, you see blurry far away. When you put those glasses, you can see now focus, even if there is no special glass. There is nothing, just holes. But because the way your brain and your eyes are, you can see focus without glasses, just using pinholes.
So, and what a lot of people always assumed is that these are helping your eyes see better. And what we discovered with this trick is these do not help your eyes see better. Because when you wear these, you would see the cards are blurry, clearer.
Yeah.
If you were actually seeing better. But what this actually does is it blocks a lot of the information, and your brain has to interpret more and will interpret more focused. So these do not help you. It helps you see better psychologically, but you're not actually seeing the information. You're seeing your brain's interpretation of the information. Kind of like the color purple. If you don't, I'm not going to get into that, but if you don't know that the color purple is an illusion, look it up. It doesn't exist in the light spectrum. Your brain is making it up because that's how amazing our mind really is. So this kind of revealed that the mind is actually going to clean up the blurred information. So you could have the blur deck already activated, and they could have this on, and it looks like a normal deck. And then when they take it off, whenever they want, it goes blurry organically. So the pinhole glasses might be a great presentation for you.
Yeah.
And what's happening with your brand is happening also in your smartphone.
Yep. So we also noticed, and there have been because of effects like 100 Monkeys, other people have noticed a similar smartphone relationship that I've been made aware of recently. But we noticed that with the blur effect, the smartphone works just like the pinhole camera. The smartphone tries to clean up the information for you augmentedly. So you can be a foot and a half away recording it, and the smartphone will clear up the image, even though it's not actually clear.
Yeah, that means you can film someone on the table, a spectator, looking at the cards. On the movie, you will see the cards that are not blurry, but the guy, the spectator on the table, will see the card blurry and will be able to pick the one that is not blurry.
That's cool. That's a nice dual reality going on there.
Yeah, it's like a triple reality because he now has verification that while he was looking at the blurry cards, that they were not blurry. So it's one reality for him, one reality for the audience, and then a third reality for the review.
Yes, yeah. When he watches it back, he goes, "No, these were blurry." That's wild.
And then it's like a triple reality.
Just getting into all the.
Yeah, we're gonna be going the Inception.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, where does it stop? Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't stopped the top. It still spins.
Hang on, I need to check my safe now. I'm gonna check my I haven't got the spinning top. I've got something else. I can't tell you. Isn't that the first rule of Inception? You can't tell.
The first rule of Inception is you don't talk about Inception. Yeah, I remember that movie. Yeah.
And then that's
I'm
Spy
pretty
Club.
sure I'm pretty sure that's how that went down.
That's great. Well, I think we have a couple people ask about that. Like you talked about the table hopping. Who would this be perfect for, and where are the limits on? Like I know you said you can't do some of the routines for table hopping, but is this good? Are there other routines that you could do table hopping? Are there other?
Oh yeah, the glasses one kills table hopping.
Yeah.
But the real power, the biggest empowerment of another audience member to be able to do it is something that you can set up in a parlor show.
Yeah, perfect.
On developing, I usually, when I want to use it quickly, I do a two effect version. I do not the 3-1, but I just squeeze it a little bit to be quicker. Because in table hopping, you cannot do like 10 minutes routine. You could, but it usually not. So I'll do just two effects routine.
That's great. I guess that kind of leads me on to with talking about table hopping and you being pretty much surrounded for this. What are the angles like on this? I guess certain routines are probably better than others, or is that all around encompassing good angles? I watched the tutorial. I know how it is, but I know what people are asking in the comments. And you performing it quite a bit. How do you find the angles on this?
The only thing you might worry about is if you choose to spread the deck out, that people over your shoulder might, get some information. But of course, you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
No.
So as long as you're aware of your environment, you have a version you can do for any situation.
Yeah, even surrounded, you could.
Perfect. That's the exact answer I was looking for. You nailed it right on the head there. Which leads me on to the other thing that's been a lot of people asking in our chat and on all of our socials, the examinability of the deck. Obviously, I don't know, you can examine... You're showing the deck enough. You can't really hand the deck out to be examined. But the deck itself, I watched so many different performances and so many different explanations on this, and you give multiple ways that you also show the deck a lot, front and back throughout the whole routine. I think, Garrett, you even said on the tutorial, show the deck as much as you can. Don't stop showing the deck. Show it front and back. Keep spreading that deck. Keep showing, like, there was parts where you'd, like, show the cards, like, all the front and back of the cards to show that it is a legit deck. I think at the end, the spectators won't be thinking there's something funny about the deck because you're being so free with it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're in that environment, this is one of those tricks. If you're in an environment in a hostile environment, this is one of those tricks where you'd want to switch in and out of it, which is relatively easy for those who are in those environments. You have to do that. But because of the familiarity of the mandolin bicycle deck and how it just is so unassuming, if this was done with the original Tenyo deck, they might want to see it. And you might not easily have a duplicate to switch. This, I generally always have it like this. This is my standard deck, and this is my blur deck, and they stay in my back pocket like this. And Patrick Kuhn has these really cool protective cases on it, and that's enough to convince people it's the same deck. And I just literally put one away and bring one out. And all I do is I end the routine putting them away, and it goes right in my pocket. If someone says, "Can I see it?" Just bring out this deck, and it's done.
Yes.
Right? And because they're not going to say, "Oh, he has 2 bicycle decks, duplicates, both with protective sleeves on it, both with cards underneath so I take the time. I even have a tear on the box in the same spot, because all of that is a psychological. Yeah. That is the same deck.
That's the little details that matter.
You don't have to run if you're not being chased.
Yeah.
And you can easily use all the tools of magic. If the deck can't be handed out, that shouldn't sway you for the power of this tool. Think about, like, what you can't do this any other way, so it's worth the cost of it. But you have psychological tools to convince people.
Yeah.
It's the deck that has been in play the whole time. Use all the tools of Magic. Don't just lean on a gaff. Don't just lean on psychology. Don't just lean on sleight of hand. That's what's great about teaming up with Mathieu is we come at it from two different directions. So we apply both skill sets into a creation. And that's why I'm always excited whenever we get to work together.
And also, I think because of the nature of the effect, people don't really want to check the cards. And I think if you change a blue deck of cards into a red deck of cards, they can rely on something with probably special cards. But because this is happening only on their vision, there is something that I think they feel it's happening only in their mind. And the cards are not the go-to thing. There is something else. They don't know what. But I think there is some reason there, psychological reason of the effect itself.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you're in those type of hostile environments, definitely consider leaning into the presentations that are more about the vision, like the pinhole glasses, or maybe they hold up a picture frame, and when they hold it up, in the frame, the cards go blurry, and then when they put the frame down, they're back to normal. So now they think there's something about this piece of glass or something they're looking through. There's ways to, use all of your skills to get people away from those thoughts if you think that's an issue. But like Mathieu said, we don't believe it's too big of an issue. I haven't had anyone yet say, let me see the cards, even though I always quickly put in my pocket, say one more thing where I gesture with the deck of cards and I put out a different deck.
Only magicians.
Only magicians.
Only magicians say that. Can I check the cards?
or children that only know magic through watching Penn and Teller fool us.
Yes. Well, I think also too, the fact is that there's two, I'm not going to get into too much of it, but there's two methodologies in this deck that kind of cancel each other out, which I thought was really clever.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it was brilliant. So to see that your two minds come together to create this was interesting. I think that helps a lot too.
It can't be A because of B, and it can't be B because of A, but it can be both.
That's it.
And that's really that reveals a lot to our smarter audience members. but it is something that is beautiful, an elegant solution to this plot. Where they won't. Any answer they get has a natural occurring cancellation, where you don't have to say a certain thing. There's a visual cancellation for whatever path their brain leans to, built into the deck.
Yes, I think that's. I just lost my train of thought. I got so caught up in what you were just saying that I was going to segue into something else, and that's kind of. I'm trying to read through my notes because I remember. Oh, that's right. I was going to say that the deck is also set up in ways that you can perform other effects at the start of it using the deck that makes sense. So the deck could be in play the full time while you're performing other routines. And then
if you're careful, you can use this for other effects, probably a look at card type of thing, where they can glance at a card and you can tell them what it is. Because of that, we have built into it stacking possibilities, but that's really unnecessary, we found, because of the other principles built into the deck that you can use to figure out what cards they are glancing at. So you can have a little more. You can do your deck switch and then have a little time delay before you lean into the effect.
Perfect. And that's where I kind of wanted to segue into one of the things is there's two Easter eggs in this release. One of them you teased me, and I can't wait to see you at a convention because you said, we will not do it on a call. We will not do it on an email. You have to see me live at a convention. So wait till I see you at Magic Live or another convention. I will tackle you so hard so I could hear this. But one of the other ones, did you want to talk about the other first Easter egg, or did you want to just say that? Because when you told me the first Easter egg, I was like, this is amazing that you've worked this in to Blur.
I actually don't remember what these.
Mnemonica. You kind of stacked mnemonica into.
Oh
it.
Yeah. We can definitely. That's what I mentioned about. There is you can use a mnemonica stack with this.
Yeah.
We made sure the deck it functions in that way with one adjustment, which is really easy to calculate. But we found because of the other principles built in, it's not the most direct. I mean, actually, it will be a lot cleaner, but it's the for me needing to reset the cards. It was too much of a cost for me to take advantage of that element. But it is something we know that people out there would like, so why not throw it in there?
It could fit to some people who are using only mnemonica decks order cards, so it will fit. I hope it will fit some people.
Oh yeah,
it definitely will throw off the magicians that don't know about this trick, because they'll look at it and see that and think they know what you got, and then
yeah, that's it. So it's another, because there's so many kind of little red herrings that you guys throw in throughout everything that keeps everyone guessing throughout the whole routine. I was watching it, I was questioning my sanity watching it. I was like, hang on, am I thinking this right? Am I? Because a lot of times you would do because Garrett, your slide is so perfect that you'd do a slide at some points, and I would notice that, hang on, the card's blurry. And I'm like, oh, good. Wes in the studio's got it. The card's all blurry. And I was like, oh no, he's done his slide there. It looks perfect. It looks
Are you
visual.
referring to the full deck 2-card Monty move?
Yes, I'm trying not to give away too much. Yeah. I don't know how much. I'm happy to expose everything on here, but I don't know how much we should expose. But I'm trying to be kind of secretive.
Without the tools, people won't be able to take advantage of it anyway. So it really doesn't matter. But when I played with that, I was awestruck that it works.
Yeah,
it shouldn't work. It is so counterintuitive. I would have bet money that wouldn't fly. And in the process of taking the glasses off, I do this overt half pass. 2-card. It's basically, I borrowed it from Stand Up Monty.
Yeah.
It's a move that you would think has a topological error with just 2 cards. You couldn't imagine you would get away with it with a deck, and you can.
Yeah,
it is. I surprised myself with discovering that one.
I love it so much. Someone just said I missed a lot. Will there be a replay? Dawn, yes, there will be. I've just realized if anyone's got any questions, I keep looking over at chat, and everyone's just say like, Michelle Rott is in the chat, and he said Garrett did this to me at 4F. It's a killer. So I'm just seeing a lot of people getting excited by this in the chat. If anyone has any questions, please throw them in there. I'm also trying to see questions, but just everyone's way excited about this. So questions, throw them in. I know we're coming up to the hour mark. It is so hot in here. I don't know if you can tell, I keep wriggling about because I'm sticking to my chair. And I know it's getting late for you too, Matthew. So what we'll do is we'll play the trailer one more time for everyone. And then when we come back, we'll answer some questions, and then we'll do the giveaway. And if you guys want to keep chatting, we'll keep chatting. But if you guys are happy enough to wind up, we could do a commentary of the trailer. There you go. I could do that. I could set up the commentary of the trailer, or we could just talk about the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones while the trailer's playing.
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. We'll do that. I'll play the trailer right now.
Marlowe is up, and
So I want to see if I can mess with your eyes and get you to see something. Say stop.
Stop.
That one.
I can't.
Right.
Yeah.
Good.
See it?
All right. So see that ace. No, see, ace of spades very popular, right? Was it? So it was the ace of spades.
Yes.
Yeah. So I want you to really see what I'm seeing here. So I want you to take a deep breath. Okay. Relax.
No! No!
So you see that. I mean, you knew that the card was, but you could see them now, right? If all the cards went blurry, they could blame themselves. But why is one visible? And that moment makes them realize this is magic. This is impossible.
Wait,
No, this is insane.
how does that happen?
Right? And the Jokers?
No, wait, we need to touch those though.
Years ago, Mathieu, Bich, and I had created an illusion. And now we realize it has a lot more potential. I want to show you something. Come here. You can see these quite fine, right? Maybe at home you don't wear glasses, but I wear glasses. And if I take my glasses off, I don't know what happens to you, but I can't read a thing. Like this is, I mean, I could tell that's the 6 of hearts, and I could tell that's the 10 of clubs, but I could barely see anything. But luckily for you, I can put my glasses back on, and if I do this right, it feels much better.
The unique effect where people will actually see the magic happening through their own eyes. Just need to move my glasses a bit, and the cards goes out of focus. You see?
Whoa.
It's because of the glasses effect. The glasses effect, and it's just exactly the 8 of diamonds.
Whoa!
But it
Wait,
wasn't blurry when you
no,
had it.
no, I held it.
Place your hand like this. So I'll take that, you see, and what I take is I take the blurriness. We can say blurriness. It's kind of special, and I put the blurriness in here. So I have all the cards focused there. That's not magical, that's normal. But this one now you can check it's not
know
out
where
of
to look.
focus. Okay.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
The funny part is that I did took it and put it there, so you can check your card.
No. There's no.
This one is useless, you can keep it as a souvenir. This version of our effect is unique and better in a lot of ways. The quality of the cards is absolutely stunning. We've fine-tuned the design for maximum visual impact.
Like I've gone to Vegas so many times in my life and seen magic shows there, and like this beat, like I would pay hundreds of dollars to see this.
With most magic, people ask, how did you do that? With this effect, people ask, what did you do to me? Welcome, I am Garrett Thomas.
Bonjour, je suis Mathieu Bich. Action!
So with Blur, it's not just one effect, it's really a utility device.
With multiple versions, there is really something for everyone.
Wait, that was crazy.
This is Blur by Mathieu, Bich, and Garrett Thomas.
Exactly. Well, that's kind of, we're back now. So I want to tell people about what you were just telling me, if you don't mind repeating some of that. The box, there's what you get inside the box. There's additional things for different routines.
Yeah, you get extra cards. You can use some of those cards in a normal deck.
Yeah.
And getting extra tricks. Or you can use those cards, 1 or 2 at the same time, with the Blur deck to do even more tricks. So it really depends. And that's why the content, you have so many contents, because we are explaining all the details and all the possibilities. So you're getting 2 extra cards that give you more options with a normal deck and with a Blur deck.
There you go. That's sick. So you can load those cards into the regular deck that you have. So if someone wants to see,
Yes.
and again, you can pull out the regular deck, have the card loaded in, and create a similar kind of routine.
Yeah, and in those 2 cards, you have 1 card that is blurry. So if you want, you can introduce the blurry effect with that effect, where you will force, obviously, the card, or not. If you use the other card, you can do with any card. And they can feel and see and touch a blurry card first, and they can touch all the cards, and then you switch your deck, and you can do the blur deck.
I love that so much.
Yeah. And my countdown effect, which was my original way I was using the blurry concept, is usable with that extra card.
I love
And
this so
then
much.
you get the case. That's what you wanted to talk about.
Yes, yeah, the blood case that you saw there in the trailer a little bit. You said it's not the one that you perform with.
Yeah, I don't recall if Mathieu uses the blurry box,
Not that
but
much.
Yeah, I generally let the cards go blurry and keep the box from changing. The jokers and the deck goes blurry, but I like the contrast between, like, if everything goes blurry, then they might think it's just their eyes. But the fact that one card does not go blurry really messes with people. And so when they can see the jokers blurry on a box that's clear, it
Yeah.
messes with your brain, because your brain wants to make the blurry cards in focus and tries, and it feels like this struggle. And so that contrast is really what I like to celebrate. But if you wanted to make a longer routine, you can definitely, one of the rules when I create magic is that if I have an option to make a choice, even if I don't use it, I'm going to try to figure out what's beneficial to someone else out there. For example, in Banded, all the gimmicks are steel core. I don't use magnets, but if you wanted to ditch something with a holdout, it's already built into it. You don't have to shim it. You don't have to do anything, because why not put a steel core in it? It costs me nothing more to make a decision that benefits other people. So in that same spirit, we made sure the box, if you want to get a normal box, you have plenty of them. If you want to get a blurry box, you can't do it any other way. So we wanted to give you something that you can't get.
But that's what I loved about this. This wasn't just, I guess, a one-trick pony release. This is essentially a tool that people can adapt. Like you said, you've created all these different things that you might not ever use, but someone out there is going to definitely have a use for.
Yeah, and to be clear, you're not going to perform even two of these routines. Maybe two might be your most that you perform out of all these effects, but they're going to be a great two tricks that fit your style, and it's more likely that they're not going to see that because your other magicians they run into are probably going to handle it differently. So giving magicians more freedom to make artistic choices is going to help in an age where they can see a trick the next day get 200 million views online. You're going to perform it differently than that, and an audience member is not going to know it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Where if it's word for word and every magician has to do it the same way, and once you see it, you see it.
Yeah.
And it loses some of its magic. So I think in the future, us inventors need to make sure we create wiggle room for our fan base to put themselves into it in a way that will hold up next to the same exact trick.
Yes, exactly. Add their own personality and style to the routines that they do. So it's not some cookie cutter release that everyone's doing the exact same thing out there. It has an essence of every person in their own routines. I love that aspect. I think that's great. I want to run a competition. I have some people going, when's the competition happening? The competition for everyone on Instagram is happening over on YouTube. It's a comment thing. So if everyone on YouTube, we're going to give away $150 worth of a care package of both Matthew's and Garrett's release. So like a little tasty care package of you two gentlemen caressing someone nice and comfortably at night. They can watch all your releases. If you go to YouTube and you type in the word I think I've chosen is, by coincidence, blur. So if you type in blur into chat, we will give you like 30 seconds and then I'll choose someone out at random. I've got like a little thing up here. So type in blur, then I will give you 30 seconds and then we'll choose a winner. So we'll get some people doing it there. But I think I want to go back out. I've ordered a blur to be sent in because I've watched the tutorial. Now I'm like you said, once you can watch this whole thing, you can know how it works, but you can't do anything until you have the object in your hands. That's why I'm like, I need this now. I need this right now. So I've instantly I ordered that and some pinhole glasses. I need to get this in my hand. So that's what I'm excited for. And I can't wait to play with it.
The pinhole glasses are going to freak you out. It is so counterintuitive. It just doesn't make sense. It's a fun illusion.
I can't wait to play with that and play with just blur itself. There's just going to be so many different things. Like, I really can't wait to... The dual reality, I think, is one thing I can't wait to play with. And also the camera, like the camera trick one. So...
Yeah, the dual reality is probably one of the harder things to sell with this trick, because people really blame the person and they say he's lying.
Mm-hmm.
And I must have whispered something to him. So you got to really make sure that the selection is of a random person, that, you know, and they come up and you clearly say, we didn't discuss anything, but you're just going to know. You're going to organically know what card people are picking. I want you to stare at the candle and now look at the cards. And then they go, what? No. And they start freaking out. It's such an honest reaction, but there's no other way that it could possibly happen to an audience's point of view than that guy's in on it.
Yeah.
And the amount of arguments I hear people going, no, they really were actually blurry, and no one believes them. It's like, oh yeah, but he told you to say that, right? It's like, no, they literally, I couldn't see them. I only could see, and it's just a fun, the fact that when the person who's experiencing the secret makes it a better secret, if it ever gets revealed, is so rare in our industry. It's just a fun thing to take advantage of, and you're definitely going to enjoy it.
Yeah, because usually when someone on stage, you are like cueing him, when he's coming back down with the spectators, he can explain, if he wants, how he was cued, and it kills his method.
And that one spectator no longer is a fan of that magician office. They're like, oh yeah, he had me on his show and I was on stage and he just told me what to pick. And now, even if you don't use a stooge in any other trick, that guy thinks every trick is stooged and you're a fraud. So you want to be sensitive with how, you know, that it better be a worthy trick to sacrifice one fan for. Because it's often they're going to walk away feeling they were taken advantage of. A good strategy, if you do have effects like that, is wink, wink, nod, nod. They're in on it. We're going to make you look good, because it can't be about you. Because then they're disappointed in the fact that you were doing things other than the audience was aware of.
But with Blur, it's different, because now you're doing the magic trick to him, and he looks good because he's living the magic trick.
Yeah, and the effect is even better for him than the audience.
And
now
the audience
telling
just
the goes away with a huge mystery.
Happens. I was witness of something impossible, and nobody trusts him, but he lived it for real. He doesn't know how, so I think it's a win-win situation.
And now you have, instead of having somebody out there that says, well, he just whispered to me what to say, and now you got someone out there that's like a disciple now. No, listen, no one believes me, but when I looked at the cards, they were blurry, and they'll fight you to the death because they want to validate their experience.
I love that. Well, that's where we bring in Fight Club again. Now, I don't know if you saw me. My
favorite part is when the kid gets stuck in the tunnel, the chocolate tunnel in Fight Club. Yeah.
That's the best part. And then that other kid turns into a big purple ball. Like, that was crazy.
That kid had it coming.
Oh yeah, but we're not talking about that, because what happens in Fight Club?
I like chocolate.
Oh dear. Now,
for those who just came in late. Will not get the reference that we've been misquoting movies earlier.
Yeah, they'll be like, hang on, what are you talking about? What's happening? That's not Fight Club. What are these guys? Well, look, our vision is blurred right now. We have no idea what's going on.
No idea.
Now, the question is, there's this new thing that we're trying to do today, to do this giveaway. And just like technology would expect, I'm going to show you, just so you don't think I'm lying. I put in below here, there's everyone chatting here. You hit roll it, and it says that there's no eligible users to win the giveaway. So this is good fun. We just hit that roller and nothing ever happens. So that's exactly what you want from this.
Well, did everyone spell it the right way?
Yeah, I think I checked to see if it is insensitive, so it doesn't really matter. But
yeah, but 2 R's, 1 R, maybe.
True.
It's weird. I'm sure. Nobody wants to win this prize.
Yeah, no one wants to win the prize. I think that's what it is. I think the computer
Just send it to me.
The computer kept saying, "I win," and I was like, "Damn it, AI." But I think what we should do is, Matthew, if you give me a number between 1 and 10, Garrett, give me a number between 1 and 10, and I'll got the list here, so I'll just scroll down. Or you can give between. There's been a lot of comments, so you could even go between 1 and 10.
How many we got?
There's a lot. I'll go back to screen share, and you can see there's been a lot of blurs.
All right, so we got to do one in 100, or if we do an average between 1 and 200.
Oh, geez, I got to count down. So you just got to give me a number between 1 and whatever, and I can scroll down and find a name. Because that's not going to work. So if you want to give me a number, Matthew, between 1 and 20, and then Garrett, give me a number between 1 and 20, and we'll go down to that name.
17.
17. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We're at Dylan Fan 1955. Garrett, give me a number between 1 and 20.
Let's do 18.
18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're at Tommy. So we're here. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Jared Faulkner, you are the winner, my friend. Congratulations. I can't even click Jared Faulkner. So, Jared Faulkner, you won, my friend. Still can't start giveaway. But Jared Faulkner, you win, my friend. I'm sorry about the technological issues there.
First time?
Yeah, it's my first time streaming, so I don't know how I'm doing. But if you got any suggestions, but Jared Faulkner, congratulations, mate. You win. If you could DM me on any of Murphy's socials, I will get that prize straight out to you. I know it's already packaged up. I know they've made like a nice little box for you as well. I think it's a photo of you too caressing Jared. I'm not going to say that because it's probably not that now, and I'm going to get in trouble.
My stand-up money.
Yeah, that's it. So whatever it is, Jared, send us a DM on any of the Murphy socials, and I will get that out to you, my friend. But thanks again, guys. It's been incredible. I can't wait to pick up Blur now. I literally can't wait for it to arrive in the mail. So if you're watching at home and you want to pick up Blur,
I bet you'll get a quick delivery too. You'll probably get it right away.
See, the thing is I live in Northern Ireland, so I have to get.
Oh no!
Yeah, I have to get express delivered from Murphy. So generally, what I normally do is I shop from a UK dealer and get it sent over because it gets here quicker.
Oh, so now I see.
Support the UK dealers. That's so.
Love it.
Jared spammed himself though. Oh no!
It's even a fun tool to do it for yourself. Just
Yes.
watching the card blurry, it's just a fun experience.
The thing was when I was creating the thumbnails for YouTube and things, the amount of times that the image got me of like the card spread or even holding the deck up and it looked like a blurred, I was like, oh, it's out of focus. And then you look around the image and everything's in focus. And my eyes like,
Yeah.
I had to adjust. It got me a lot more than I'd like to admit.
Yep, and that's what I love, about it is it's you can even know what's happening and your brain wants to see it. Your brain tries to make focus out of anything blurry.
Yeah.
This for the same reason that I would rather have, I can see well enough to have this whole interview, but I feel a lot more comfortable having, more clarity. And so you're messing with that part of the brain that seeks clarity.
Yes. Well, that's one of the things. I don't need glasses either, but when I have them off, I look like I've got tiny eyes. But more so, I use them for these that have the blue light in them. So when I'm editing, I wear them all the time, and I wear them for so long. When I take them off, I'm constantly doing this. So it's just a habit. So everyone's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I just feel like I should have glasses on." So I just wear them now just for sake.
Yep.
So yeah, that's got nothing to do with Blur. Just bit of fun facts to tell your friends.
But everything's a little orange for you?
Yeah, everything's a little orange, and purple isn't a thing. So
purple is not a color in the light spectrum.
you taught me that,
It's an
and I
illusion.
literally have it on my notes while I was chatting to you. I wrote Google purple, And I'm checking that out after this stream, and I can't wait to see why.
The color wheel is a subtractive method of color, where the light spectrum is an additive. So it's a different rules where red and green make yellow in light, which I know you know because of setting up,
colors,
you know, photo shots and stuff like that. So you can, white light is, you know, red, green, and blue added together. However, if you go higher than red, you get to, or lower than red, you get to infrared. If you go higher than violet, you get to ultraviolet, never actually reaching purple. And what's happening is actually really fascinating. Why your brain chooses to create the illusion of purple, it's because of another thing you are capable of doing that you're not doing. And I won't spoil it, but you can check that out later.
I can't wait to check it out. But I thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna let you get back to it. Now, Matthew, it's getting late for there, and I know it's getting around dinner time for me. And I've seen my wife text me 2 times saying, "What would you like me to do with dinner?" So I will let you get back to it, gentlemen. Thank you so much for taking the time and chatting to everything about Blur. I can't thank you two enough. It's been absolutely incredible.
Enjoy.
I can't wait to enjoy it. I'm so excited for this. So everyone, enjoy the rest of your day. I can't see any questions about it. Just everyone's hyped up about this prize. So thank you very much, gentlemen. You enjoy the rest of your day. Anything else you want to say before you get whisked away?
I just can't wait to see all the different handlings. Like, you know, this is a long trailer, but or a long instructional video because of all the different options we came up with. And there were many more we didn't even talk about, but we're excited to see what people are drawn to, what they find resonates with their audiences. So definitely keep talking about it and let us know what you discovered. And you know, let's see, you know, it's all in their head. So every area where, you know, every type of audience that you perform for is going to be slightly different. So I can't wait to see what clicks with your audience.
Yeah, there is definitely more you can do. Some we didn't include because it was already too long, but we didn't mention when you take a few cards or a group of cards into a normal deck, or taking normal cards into that deck. So there are a lot more you can do with that, and I'm sure that people will be able to figure out ideas.
And also that Easter egg. Sorry, I was getting a little call from little Timmy there. Timmy, you've missed the... little Timmy is about to join the chat. He's missed the time, little Timmy. I'm sorry. But there's a little kid that calls in every now and then called little Timmy. But the Easter egg is what I'm very excited for people to start hearing about, and the extra thing. There's Easter eggs built into this everywhere. So everyone go have fun with it. And thank you again, Matthew and Garrett. I can't thank you enough. You guys have a great rest of your day. And I'll talk to you very soon. Thank you very much.
Au revoir. Bye-bye. Bonsoir.
Bye.
One of my favorite tricks that I've ever seen performed live was on stage when a magician took a lady and placed her inside of a box. So this coin is going to be representing that lady. Check it out. Make sure that's 100% solid. It doesn't come apart. And it's exactly what it seems. You're going to take the little box and place that coin inside, right there in the center, and then you're going to cover it up with that lid. So this is what the magician did. He put the lady inside. It was a very tight box, and then he proceeded to take some swords and push them straight through the box with the lady inside, kind of like how we have that coin inside. But he didn't just put one or two. He proceeded to fill that box with all the swords that he had available, as you can see here. And remember, that coin is 100% solid, just like that lady, his assistant. And you can clearly see that this is not an illusion. Every single one of those is going straight through that solid coin that you just checked out. He then proceeded to take all of the swords out, and to everyone's amazement and surprise, he opened up the lid, and inside was that lady completely unharmed, exactly like this coin, which you can check out and make sure that is 100% solid.
I'm here with Ben and Sophie. Hello. So, Ben, do you like movies?
I do, yes.
Good. Now, you know that when we watch, especially when we see a title of a movie, immediately a trigger in our mind the music thing. For example, if I say James Bond, you know which is, yeah. So now I'm going to show you a list of movies, but don't say anything because otherwise you can influence our choice. And this is the movie I have. You see, the quite famous one. And for example, from all these movies, which one you know the music of?
No, at least 3 of those.
At least 3 of those. Okay, very good. Now, this is what we're going to do. In a moment, I'm going to show you the list of movies. And you're going to scan very quickly. And very quickly, I would like that you choose one of them. The first one that trick immediately in your mind the music thing. Okay? So please, have a look. You have one?
Okay, yeah.
Good. Now, I would like that you think about this movie, okay? Just think about this movie in your mind. Imagine now the music theme. Just try to sing in your mind the music theme, okay? Yeah, you're smiling. So, let me try something, because I have my mobile phone here, and I would like to just let me know if maybe this is what you're thinking. Yeah? Yeah. It's Titanic. And let's make a game. Let's play together.
That's creepy.
That's creepy, yeah?
Creepy.
Titanic. Come on.